In this video I am going to review a movie. The movie name is Chemical Heart. This is a romantic and dramatic movie. This movie duration is below average. Lately most of movies are around 2 hours. This movie is around 93 minutes or 1 hour 33 minutes. You don't believe if you will see this movie. It does not seem like this movie is too short. Duration of this movie would be then it would be better. It will not be happened. Personally, I like this movie. To be honest, I have seen this movie 3 times till now. I am not perfect in English. Actually, I am a Bengali TV speaker. I saw this movie in English sound and with English subtitle. As far I have tried to understand this movie, I will explain on this basis of my personal opinion. My explain might be wrong a little bit, so please pardon me about that. First of all, I would like to say that this movie is too good. Movie story is like 100% original and realistic. No sign of that had to be unreal. It's almost filled with sadness. When I saw this movie first time, I also had been feeling sadness for 2-3 hours after watching this movie. Let's see trailer of this movie.
You are never more alive than when you're a teenager. Your brain is flush with chemicals that can turn your life into a story of epic proportions. And yet, by the start of my senior year, nothing interesting had ever happened to me. Then, something finally happened.
Hi guys, come on in. Grace just transferred here from East River. I think you make a truly dynamic editor-in-chief duo.
I'll help with editing and design, just not writing.
Hey, why'd you give up writing?
I was asked to write something about someone really important to me, but I just couldn't find the words.
It's funny, because I can't find the words when I talk, and you can't find the words when you write.
Have you ever had a girlfriend?
No.
Why not?
I don't know, I'm not really good at this stuff. I feel like I don't know anything about you.
I used to be good at socializing.
What changed?
9 months ago, car swerved coming around a bend and flipped. Come here.
You look,
Thoughty?
I was gonna say hot. Hey, Grace, just want to say hi. And that hope last night just kind of meant a tiny fraction to you as it meant to me. That was dumb.
The teenage years are limbo.
Is that your mom?
No. Yeah, it doesn't matter. The world tells you to express yourself, but the minute that you do, it tells you to shut up.
Just ask her what's going on.
Are you all right? I don't know, like, how I'm supposed to help.
I'm messed up, Henry. I'm messed up. No, it's not when you realize you can't fix me.
What's wrong? It's regular stuff you are not gonna understand.
We're not regular people.
No, are you kidding me? Your relationship's been perfect since you were, like, my age.
There is a reason why, when every adult talks about young people, they can't avoid the truth.
Stop leading me on.
I'm confused, Henry. I don't know.
I know. I've known since, like, the very beginning.
That being young is so painful. It's almost too much to feel.
Now I am gonna start movie story in brief. The movie explain will be on main character and their between love and personal matter. The movie started with a boy is telling about yourself and his family. As a main character, a boy who is Henry Page telling his story when he was teenager, where the story has been represented as a movie. He likes writing. He want to be a professional writer. When he was at senior year, was nothing interesting and remarkable. Finally, he met a girl during to get a little job interview time. A girl also there, but she did not take this job. After that, he went to talk her. As a result, he missed his bus. So they started work together, talked, and she gave to the boy a love sonnet book. The girl's home so close. She gave a ride to the boy's home, but the boy drive the car because she did not like driving. After reaching, she left the car and walked away. Coming back to home, he started to research about the girl only by her name because he knew just her name, and he had started to reading the sonnet book and trying to understand very cautiously. Next day when school time ended, he met her and walked about and talked about her poem. He appreciated that the poem is beautiful. He missed her bus again for this meeting. She gave a ride. He said thank to you after reaching at home. She walked away. A man came by his home and took the car. Actually, the man was father of Grace's boyfriend. Henry did not know about that. Next day the same thing happened. She gave a ride. That day they met at 6 p.m. in a forest where there was a closed mill. There was a stored water in the mill. She spread out piece of bread on the water. Some little beautiful fishes ate that. Both of them enjoyed that. Grace asked Henry, "Do you have any girlfriend?" He told no. Henry asked about herself. She said 9 months ago the car swerved coming around the bend and it flipped. That was the reason behind her physical therapy. After taking a little word, she was gonna head home. Next day at school they were discussing to find a good topic theme to publish on newspaper. Then Henry was coming back by bus. Marge said to Henry, "You should follow Grace. Don't you want to see where she goes? Where she is hanging out?" Marge was Henry's friend. At evening Grace was going to a part of a forest and Henry was following her from a distance. She took a yellow flower. She sat before a small headstone at a distance. She leaves the new flowers among the others. Henry watches behind a grave. Grace talked to the headstone. Around 2 hours later, when she leaves, Henry shines flashlight on the stone. He saw a Dominic Henry Sawyer. That is a person name. 2001 to 2018. He searches on Google about him. He finds that East River classes at East River Preparatory High School were suspended one Wednesday after a junior Dominic Sawyer lost control of his car and hit the rock barrier. According to state police, his passenger was severely injured. A Little Easter quarterback prospect with pro potential. Sawyer's high school coach, Charles Baker, remembered him as one of the most smartest, kindest, and most talented student athletes I have ever come across. Dom's social media page find Dom hanging and kissing Grace. Daytime in the newspaper room, Henry asked Grace that you have any idea about him, then he will select. She told that whatever he select, it will be good. Henry friend sent a text message. Alex saw Grace at the track right now, doing some hella weird shit. Better now go bro. Henry goes and see the same. Next day at library, she gives an idea regarding their newspaper theme. The theme is decided that is teenage limbo. Then they talked at football playground, at night on phone. Next day Grace goes into the Henry's home. Henry introduced about Grace to his parents and she goes to the Henry's room. She looked across the room. She asked how did this break. Henry says that he broke. Then they sat on bed. She slid close to him when they are closing to each other to kiss. At the time Take Care song was being started to play. That song was usually played in her car. Grace was angry on that. She left his house. Henry is running behind her. He said, "I am very sorry about that. I did not know. We listened to it all the time in the car together." She said, "It is not our song. It's not for you and me." He asked what was for it. She said, "Dom. He was my friend. He was driving the car and I fucked up my knee." He said that he did not understand. At the moment Grace kissed him, then she walked away and Henry jokes after that. He said, Can I drive you home?" She replied, "No, I fucked up my knee." He said, "I don't care." She replied, "I am not your fucking badges." Next day, Henry, Grace and their friend are attend at Halloween party. After some hanging out, finally he noticed at Grace. They met and he gives on of 2 glasses. Grace smiled and he said that he is looking hot because her dress was like party dress. He said, "Are you doing okay?" She replied, "In this moment, I am okay." He said, "I think you are the most confusing human being I have ever met." And she said, "I think I am just the most confused human being you have ever met, and that confuses you." After that, they started to dance. At night, they kisses passionately and happened that happens usually. At morning, they kisses. At morning, she put her hand on his chest. She is sobbing a little, but Henry did not say about that. After she left his After she left, he was trying to call, but she did not pick up the call. So he left a message as of your lack of experience. If you give him one more chance, it will be better. And practice does make perfect. At night, he got the reply. It was sweet. She also wrote the message, "Meet me outside your house tomorrow at noon." At noon, she gave a surprise. She drove to his Henry's home. He said, "How did this happen?" She said, "It was just time." He asked where we are going. She said, "You will see." She stand her car beside the road. Here there was a funeral items with Tom's photo. She exclaimed with sorrow that they used to come here all the time before he died. She said, "I love this drive. I want to able to love it again. I need you here. I need your support." Then she opened her chain from her throat and said, "That was us." And she put the chain on the Dom's photo. After that, their relationship was going good. One day they walked together by the neighborhood. When they reached in front of the Grace home, a unknown car was stopped here, but Grace knew about that. Grace said, "Stay here." Only Grace went to her house. After a moment, a woman came out with angry. She moved away very fast. Then Grace came out. Henry asked, "That was your mom?" She replied, "No." "Yeah, it does not matter." Then they sat on the car and moved to Henry's home. He asked her, "Do you live with your dad?" Here actually Henry did not know that he lives with Dom's dad. Actually, she wanted to hide about her family, so he said to him, "You know enough." Next day, she did not come to their newspaper hall. When their boss asked Henry, "Where's your partner in crime?" he told that he did not know. One colleague said, Today is the anniversary of her accident." He get down from the bus that was near Grace's house. He ran to the house. When he got in, he asked the man if she well or not. The man said, "You can wait upstairs if you want." Henry get in the Grace's bedroom. That room was actually Dom's before his death. He looked photos of with Dom and Grace, Dom's clothes, trophies, etc. Henry was touching Dom's cloth. At this time, Grace entered. She said, now you know." He said, "Grace, do you live here?" She said, "I moved in month before the accident to get away from my mom." She said, She was drinking a lot and she was in really bad shape." He said, "But you are still here." Henry noticed to her necklace and he asked, "You went back for that?" He asked, "Do you even wash his clothes? Cause you wear these clothes, right?" She said, "I am doing best I can." He said, "You are doing the best you can, but you are living in this fucking room." He said, "We grew up together. He was my family." He said, "I am not asking you to let him go." He said, She said, I am giving you all that I can, and this confusion and this craziness is what that looks like, and you can't handle it, but I never expect to you. What else could I possibly give you? He said, what else can you give me? He also said, I did not start dating you out of now here of something. He said, I told you leave me alone. He said, yeah, but then you told me not to. She said, because I don't know. I am confused, Henry. He asked, why you don't now? I have no since like the very beginning that I love you. She said, I can't pretend to be better because that's you want. You said you wanted to get better. She said, I am not ready yet. He said, seriously, I don't care. They started to kiss, and then he asked, why do you kiss me like that? She asked, like what? He said, like you are in love with me. She said, it's only the way I know how. Then he looked at the Grace and Dom's together photo and he left away. That hurted Henry. After coming back to his home, he was crying. His elder sister entered his room and said, love is a chemical reaction that comes and goes. He said, it all a waste of time. This midnight Henry was gone with drinking alcohol to a forest. Here was Dom's grave. He sat near to the namestone. He was starting to burn the Grace poem page. At daytime, he got a message from Dom's dad. Grace was missing all day. Immediately, he left his from work and went to find her. He went to the closed factory. He saw her there. She was her wedding dress. She was gonna marry Dom. She was talking very weird words to Henry. She became crazy. She was mad in Dom's love. She was talking with Henry about Dom. She said with crying, I need to say it. I need to say it. I need to say it, Dom. It should have been me. It should have been me. She said to Henry, you fucking asshole, it's my fault. Henry was saying only to her that no, it wasn't Grace. She said, Dom, you told me to stop teasing you. You told me and I did not listen. I just wanted to make you laugh, but you told me to stop. Oh, I am sorry. Here you is Dom. They hugged each other tightly. Then she said to Henry, I felt him sobbed, and I knew in the fraction of second that we were gonna crash. She said to Henry, I did not think about Dom. She also said, does that make me a bad person? Henry replied, makes you a person. She said, I wonder what he was thinking about. I wonder what his last thought was. Henry gave up to understand her, so he said, he was thinking about you. Grace guaranteed it. Then she dropped photo in the water and dropped her with white dress in the water. They come back from there. Henry dropped Grace. Her mother and relative hugged Grace. Henry went his home and daytime in the newspaper room. Henry worked on his laptop. Their teacher announced that Gracetown has decided to make some time off from school to deal with some personal issue. When she returned, she would prefer to focus on her studies rather than newspaper. It made him feel worse. Then he started to tell a brief description about their newspaper writing, that is teenage limbo. They are a teenager. The chemicals in your brain drive you to make decisions that rip you away from the safety of your childhood and drag you into the wilderness of childhood. A friend once told me that adults are just scared kids who are lucky enough to make it your teenage limbo alive. I urge you to go outside and look at the world through that prism. Look at your parents, your older siblings. Look at strangers you pass on the street. Look at them and imagine that at one point in their lives, they too walked this hall. They too felt the unbearable loneliness, the absolute unbearable powerlessness and darkness of being young. We tend to think of scares as ugly or imperfect, as things we want to hide or forget, but they never go away. As I write this, my last editorial in my last issue released on my last day of high school, I finally understand that scares are not reminders of what's been broken, but rather of what's been created. The last day when they completed their graduate, they met together. They did not meet together for a long time. They congrats each other. She asked, "Where are you off to next year?" Henry said, "I am gonna to Bennington. It's good for writing." He asked, "What are you doing?" She said, "I am taking a year off. Just continue therapy. I have to go find my odds again." She close to Henry and said, "You are an extraordinary collection of atoms, Henry Page." They hugged each other for a last time and she put a fold of piece of paper into Henry's pocket. She walked away. He opened the piece of paper that he tried to burn this poem that was given by Grace. Here the story ended. If you like this review and movie description, then like this video and don't forget subscribe my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video.